Hello everyone, welcome to Fiaura, and today we're taking a look at the XM8. So here it is, the XM8 light tank tier 8. Now the tier 9, the M8, seems kind of odd because the M8 doesn't get any armor upgrades and completely lacks any form of armor. Whereas the XM8 actually has a decent amount of frontal armor with the armor upgrades. The level 3 armor upgrade package designed to assist in defending against ATGM heat and 30mm autocannons made of titanium, heavy titanium steel bricks placed all over the tank. So, what do we actually get with this vehicle, and how does it compare to the other to both main battle tanks and the other non-main battle tank vehicles of this class? So we have the XM8 light tank, high caliber light armor. We have the Warrior. We have the Ramka 99. We have the Striker. And we're going to take a look at it versus the Ariete in terms of what it can do against a main battle tank. Now, what it can do against a main battle tank, it's quite simple. It hurts. The XM8's gun is very powerful, having 550mm of penetration, which is not quite as much as a regular tier 8 main battle tank. Let's be clear here. You're still almost 100 short. You're actually over 100 short of the average tier 8 MBT, just to be clear. However, you do have a 6.7 second reload, which is pretty good. With the way I have mine outfitted, you also have an insane 0.9 accuracy. The gun shoots where you tell it to consistently. Trust me on that. It will almost always go exactly where you want it. Your armor isn't great. As a matter of fact, your side armor is actually thicker than your front. Take that for what you will. You are, however, so fucking quick. 2.71 acceleration with a 72 top speed. You will reach this top speed consistently. And you have almost a 20% camouflage. You can get this over 20% with camouflage added on. And with Sabrina, this is with Sabrina, you also have a 425 meter view range. I prefer Sabrina for this thing, for the extra view range and camouflage, so I can engage MBTs beyond where they're going to see me and then duck out. You can use other commanders. If you're going to use another commander, I really recommend Philip, actually, because of the extra bonuses he provides when you're close to other tanks. Because this is a tank you do not want to engage other tanks solo with. You want to make sure you're the flanker and you're engaging tanks with help. But by engaging with help, you can take full advantage of Phillips's bonuses. The aim time is a little long. It's about as long as your average main battle tank gun. But remember, your gun is super accurate and your turret whips around like it's on steroids. So you don't be afraid to snap your shot after having only aimed it for about a second. So, moving on to compare it against the Striker, the closest thing to a tier 8 capable vehicle that we have to compare it to. You have more hit points than the Striker Tank Destroyer. You have less camouflage and a shorter view range, fair warning. You have the same accuracy but much better gun depression. You have a longer aim time. You have a faster turret and a much faster hull. Which means if you catch a Striker unaware, you will not only get the first shot off, but you have a chance to circle strafe him to death and pull the carousel maneuver. The Striker has a much quicker reload time, however, has higher penetration and higher damage. Fair warning, despite the two of you using the same gun with the same ammunition. Just saying. You do not have, I don't believe, a APS system on this tank. Which means when a missile is fired at you, you would better take cover or hope that it hits one of the titanium brick plates. Because if it hits a titanium brick plate, that might be enough to stop it between the spaced armor and the 2.5 times composite. Might is the key word. Most of the time you will get penetrated, fair warning. The next thing about this particular vehicle is you will not outspot. Simply put, you will not outspot AFVs. It's just not going to happen. You're probably barely going to outspot the main battle tanks I'm talking about, and you're not going to outspot the striker. You have to really rely on other vehicles to tell you where stuff is, and then go find it yourself afterwards. Basically, you have to know where they already are, and then you can go look for them if they disappear. But otherwise, you're relying on other vehicles to spot for you. Now, against the Ramka, 155 millimeters of penetration, hitting your front upper plate with the 120 millimeter effective armor, plus the slope, will not penetrate. The Ramka also will not penetrate your side hull armor where the armored bricks are. He has to aim underneath that. He also will not be able to penetrate the turret for the most part, unless he gets in between the brick here and the gun mantle, but the turret basically will not be penetratable by the Ramka's standard autocannon rounds. In other words, you're making the Ramka have to aim to hurt you. Good job. You have more hit points than the Ramka. You have significantly less armor, so you actually have to also aim to hurt the Ramka. Fair warning. You are, however, quicker than the Ramka. No surprises. The Ramka's just going to outspot you under every condition you can think of. But the Ramka has less gun depression, is less accurate, and is slower to traverse its hull and turret, meaning I have actually seen an XM8 circle jerk a Ramka. Now against the Warrior, your armor will not stop the Warrior's gun. The Warrior will penetrate you consistently. You need to make sure when engaging the Warrior, even with its upgraded armor package of the applique ablative package with 220 millimeters of aluminum, you can actually punch it with heat consistently. You can shoot right through the Warrior with heat. Sabot rounds have a chance of bouncing due to the slope and the odd angles of the Warrior, but the heat shells will consistently penetrate, oddly enough, just about anywhere. And it only takes you, I think, 3, or it's going to take 4. It's going to take 4 on average heat shells from this thing to kill a Warrior. The Warrior's autocannon, however, will tear you up in the meantime, so you don't get into a straight-up duel with a Warrior. You wait until you've done some damage to it, and then you close in to engage. You will not actually outrun the Warrior. Barely. It's a close, tight-knit drag race. And the Warrior does have superior hull traverse to you, and you guys have about the same gun depression, so neither of you can really circle strafe each other. So there's a lot of even give and take here against a Warrior. But against lower tiers, this is where the XM8 really starts shining. Against lower tier AFVs, such as the Weasel 1. My fully upgraded Weasel 1, for instance, just about won't penetrate this thing. On top of that, I can two-shot it. My lower tier, let's see here, my lower tier BMP3 with the frag cannon won't do very much damage, and its autocannon will barely penetrate me. It's not consistent. It'll penetrate, but it's not consistent. Same thing with the BMD4. It'll penetrate, but it won't even penetrate. 156 millimeters on the upper plate or on the upper sides or on the turret just won't go in. It just won't do it. So the good news is against lower tier AFVs, you can really hunt them. I really feel like they should have an armor increase here on this thing to help it be able to go beat up AFVs, especially since it has to fight the Crab, and the Crab's autocannon doesn't give two shits. It'll just tear you apart. Same thing goes for the Sphinx, and you have to fight those things consistently. So I really think they should give this thing an armor upgrade if they're going to give it these armor packages. Just say it. And, you know, gun upgrade wouldn't hurt. So, weak spots for those who are looking for them. This driver area here is a weak area. This gunner's hatch, this gunner's hatch is full damage. This is partial damage. This lower plate is pretty weak. It also doesn't have the extra titanium bolting on it. Be aware, this acts kind of like a Stingray 2. The extra armor will stop shots, but that's only if you hit the extra armor. If you hit away from the extra armor, you're not really going to stop anything, and it's just going to fly through. Also, be aware the engine consistently breaks. There is the temptation here to remove the internal hull reinforcement for the extra engine reinforcement to prevent the engine from breaking. Now, commander-wise, I said it's pretty flexible. I prefer Sabrina to give me just enough vision and just enough camouflage to make me able to do so from hidden attacking, but you can really use Philip in here, you can use Freya in here, You can use sauna in here. I mean, this is user preference type of deal. I'm not going to tell you what commander to put on here. Crew-wise, smooth ride, off-road driving, flat out. Shoot from the hip, quick draw, flat out. You're going to shoot a lot from the hip. You're going to fire a lot on the move. You may as well take advantage. Consumables, standard consumable loadout, nothing special. Don't try anything special. You will burn without a fire extinguisher, or you will function with no gunner without a med kit. And don't even get me started in taking a no repair kit. So get it through your head now. Standard consumables. Retrofits. Here we go. Chrome barrel liner. Increase your already ridiculous accuracy and get a little bit extra damage out of every shot. Air induction cleaner to increase your already obscene acceleration to make you just about the fastest thing short of a warrior at tier 8. And the internal hull reinforcement for your armor upgrade, because just extra hit points is extra hit points. Though you can consider replacing it with the engine upgrade, because I've noticed this thing's engine does get consistently damaged. So you can replace it with the engine upgrade should you choose to do so. Now in the meantime, you guys have heard me yak my head off. You're here to see gameplay footage. Well, I'm going to show you gameplay footage, and I'm going to show you how to use this thing. So let's get it started. So here we have it. I think my picture's right. Yep, my picture's in the right position here. I am in the XM8, facing off against a tier 18. Pretty vicious looking tier 18 with those two strikers that have obscene damage per minute. And T-98 Leopard 2A5 and Ariete, so a variety of main battle tanks, including Merkavas, and, well, just a variety of stuff. Now, I like taking my happy butt and driving it right up under that bridge at F2, because it denies the enemy the field. Very hard to dig out of position, because if you come down after us, everything and its grandmother is going to shoot you from sniping positions. So in case you didn't hear it, I did hit the engine accelerator right out the gate in order to get it moving, knowing that by the time I get to my position, a full minute will have passed, and I will already have revamped the engine accelerator and be able to use it again. Nothing spots me, oddly enough, getting up here, which is a bit frickin' creepy for me. I mean, nothing spotted me, nothing challenged me. This is kind of weird. So I come to the realization they have no AFVs, and then we all start to move in. As we can clearly see, our BMDs here are they're just murdering things. I'm going to try for a quickie shot. But, you know, it died before I got there. I throw down smoke, however, to cover us up. And now I'm going to come in here and help with this BMD-4. Which I don't need to, apparently. But we did lose a BMP-3. Now, I know I can rush in there and take that weasel on head on. And he couldn't do shit about it. But that striker has me kind of hesitant, because the striker has, you know, 105mm boomstick that can punch me like butter. I see the BMD-4, however, and I go, hello, how are you? Have a heat shell. Have a nice day. I'm going to back off now. He throws down smoke, not actually covering himself up, but giving me cover, so I'm not spotted right now. I wanted to take the kill shot. I really did, but I didn't have one to take. So now comes the rushing in. And you're going to hear some ammunition switches here. Because I switched to Sabo thinking I might engage the striker. And instead I'm right after the weasel. So I let him have it. I'm going right to heat on my next shot. Of course, you know, not necessary. Now notice that I only blocked a couple of those shots. Most of them went in. Flat side armor, while it is thick, is still penetratable very easily. Now it's time to rush into town here. I've only done 2 shots of real damage at this point. I'm kind of itching to really tear some folks' heads off. Like, I really want to come in here and just rip face But I know I have to take my time. And I know I have to come support Geek Lab, who's fighting 2-on-1. Boom! Hey, Striker, how are you doing? T-80 backs up right into my gun sights and pays the piper. Now you notice how quick this thing can aim. You don't actually have to get full aim shots to sling it out because it doesn't need the full aim. You can just fire a lot of the time on the move. Boom! Like that! Hey, M1134, how are you? Oh, Geek Lab taking that kill from me. Now, Ariete, fire smoke just before I delight, so I delight just before the 50-meter mark, and then get right in here behind him. Fuck it up. I seem to have miscalculated my driving skills. You, however, turned your turret around and let my allies shoot it, so I'm going to just take advantage and leave that there. I try to smoke up, but it doesn't quite save our friend. Now this thing is fast and furious, but you always have to remember, you notice I'm staying around groups of allies. It's not really a solo carry tank. It is definitely a single tank, and I did hit that Centauro 120 on the move there just then. But you really have to stick around friends. And the T-90 pulls ahead just enough so I fucking miss. He still hasn't noticed me though. Now he has. And the Weasel is right in my way to pull the circle. So I end up taking a shot, and I can't really deliver any return fire. Miss me! I bounced. Now I am cruising along. Look how fast I'm going. I'm doing 70 right now. Boom! Right through the front of a Leopard 2A5. No problem. On the move, full speed, right into the driver's hatch. That is how insanely accurate this gun actually is. Get used to it. Now, let's go take a look at them final stats for you guys. I do believe I have them here somewhere. That's expeditionary tank shit. That is BMD2 shit. That's Ramka. Yeah, I'm giving you guys a preview of what's coming up now, too. Because I'm naming off stuff. So we're going to kill Armored Warfare. And we're going to bring up the display capture. So here we have it. XM8. 4,605 damage. 2,169 spotting damage with 7 assists. I told you can outspot folks in this thing. Told you you could. 15 shots fired. 10 landed on target. 5 missed. Most of the misses are my fault, not the gun's fault. My fault. I've aimed poorly. Out of the 10 hits, however, 9 penetrated. Only the one on the T-90's front didn't actually go in. So, I came in, what is this, 3rd on the team. Pretty good. Pretty good. These are taken all out of order. I apologize. I got almost 200,000 credits to deposit, 26,600 reputation, 7 spots. I provided a shitload of assist from those spots. As you can see, I did ricochet a little bit of autocannon fire. And I do believe, here it is. All that, and almost all of these shots, I'm moving. I'm moving and grooving. This tank can shoot on the move. Get used to moving, grooving. Enjoy it. Have a good time with it. Kill some shit. Laugh your ass off, because that's what I did. So, that is the review of the XM8. The XMate. How's the XMate? The XMate's awesome. I wish the mate was the same way, but we're going to get to the mate very soon. In the meantime, your preview for your next thing is that we will be wanting to do what is called XCOM starting tomorrow. And please hit the like button. You guys know I give you a preview at the end of these videos, but please hit the like button and please share this with your friends on Steam, Facebook, Twitter, all those wonderful places. Go ahead, do it, please. But do remember that we're going to be restarting the XCOM campaign thanks to the addition of Shen's Gift expansion, as well as the Alien Hunters. Going to completely change the dynamic of our game. In addition to this, You guys can look forward to the Ramka 99, the BMD4, the LAV 600. All have reviews prepped and ready, as well as 2 excellent matches from me today, driving around absolutely destroying the competition and having to carry hard freaking core. Lastly, if you guys would like to support the channel, you can do so through Patreon, or you can check out the ad at the end of the video. In addition to this, here's the previous XCOM 2 review off to my left. Go check it out. I mean, God, not XCOM 2 review. What the fuck am I smoking? Here's the previous Armored Warfare review. Good Lord, Fiaura, you got XCOM all over your brain! I do all of the... There's no script, by the way, guys. None of this is pre-rehearsed, and you goddamn well know it. In the meantime, from my house to yours, this is Fiaura, and I hope to see all of you guys next time. Bye-bye, everyone.